welcome to hold it there the whole time.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and hosts of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Lynn, and you are here watching Losing It Live at LA Talk Live, and I think I want to use the word blessed. I am blessed that probably, I don't know now, 6 or 8 months ago, Stephanie, we met. Use your microphone. Did you come on early? I think you came on really early in October.
It was right after I did the Nike's women's half marathon up in San Francisco.
That's right. I got a phone call from our PR lady, and she said, there's somebody you should meet. You know, we have this lunatic runner, Weight Watcher leader, and you should meet her. And I guess I didn't realize it had been that long. So that's almost a year. Stephanie came on the show. I adored her. I love her energy. And she does something I don't do, which is that she moves regularly and has inspired me to move more, and has since brought several of her members to me and come on a regular basis just to kind of share some of her experience and her everything, her members, which I really appreciate. So I am actually going to give Stephanie the honor of introducing our guest today. I thank you so much for coming on. I know it was a long drive, and if you're driving in from, where the heck do people live?
Inland Empire.
Inland Empire. If you're driving in from Inland Empire and you happen to be listening to the show right now, there are a lot of police officers out and highway patrolmen. So we don't know what's going on, but, drive carefully. Don't get a ticket. All right. So Stephanie,
everywhere.
Go ahead. Yeah, be careful. And on the way home, 55, right? Is that the speed limit in California? Is 55?
Well, in your area. It's in here.
Why? What is it for you?
Inglewood, it said 55.
But as you get
Inland Empire, it starts to get. You can go faster.
You cowboys. Okay, so go ahead. Let's get started because we have such a fascinating story, and we're going to take your deposition today and learn all about you and get all inspired. So go ahead, Steph.
Well, this is my great member from my Friday night meeting, Tashana. And yay!
Where's our applause? A little louder. There we go. Good applause. Okay.
And she comes to see me on my Friday night meetings.
We were just discussing that. We do not have Friday night meetings in our territory. I'm not sure why. We tried them for a while and they didn't work. Friday night, really? 5:30 on Friday night. Very interesting time.
I'm just as shocked as you.
And big meetings.
And they're so supportive.
Isn't that wonderful? It's actually a really nice, you think about it going into the weekends, right? That's kind of a nice time to, okay, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
I call it family night. Nice. I call it family night, right?
Family night.
We call it family night. And we call each other family.
Very nice.
Because it's true. Yeah. Who else would you want to spend a Friday night with?
Right?
Family.
Love my big sister.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your big sister? That's interesting. Okay, bring that mic closer to you. We don't want to miss a word.
Apologies. All
right, go ahead. Tell us the story. Get started.
We've been together maybe about a year or so. Two. Oh my goodness! Just time flies.
Uh-huh.
And I've even met your sister and niece.
Yep.
Adorable she is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're so sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out here. We are so grateful. We want to learn about you, though. I want everybody to hear all the fascinating things you do and that you work with children, which to me is amazing. I could never do that.
Yeah, we have quite a story to tell, so I'm going to get through. Oh, you've got applause for working with children. There you go. We're going to talk about the hot Dorito problem in high schools in just a moment, so stay tuned. Let's just get through your story so we can, and it's kind of everybody's got such an interesting story. You just lay it out there. Growing up, what was it like? What was the food like? I understand your mom was quite the baker. I can feel myself expanding as I think about that, but tell us what it was like for you.
No, I grew up, had both of my parents. My mom really learned how to cook after she got married to my father, and she just experimented a lot, and then next thing you know, she became a professional baker, had her own in-home business.
Wow, you didn't tell me that. A professional baker. Yeah. That's trouble, though.
It was. And she used me as her little guinea pig.
Of course.
And I can honestly say one of her best things was cheesecake. And
collective groan. Oh, cheesecake. Oh.
Yes.
I can smell it. Oh, okay.
But ironically, I never ate it because I knew that if I ate it, I would like it. And then I would just keep eating it.
Really? So do you tell yourself I don't like it, or I
Yes,
just
that's exactly what I said. I was like, cheese and cake? What? How gross.
Okay, repeat after me. I do not like potato chips and French fries. I do not like potato chip.
But
No, it
I
doesn't work.
do.
But oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
So that was your own little built-in willpower.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
I couldn't avoid the cookies or the
No.
German chocolate cake.
No, I'm
or the
sure.
homemade ice cream.
Oh. So how was your weight as a kid? As you look back now and look at those pictures, say getting you up to high school, how was your weight?
It was good, but I didn't know that. I always thought that I was overweight.
You know, Stephanie, that's a common story we hear at Weight Watchers with the women. I don't know about the men, but don't we
think
hear that
with
all the
girls,
time?
Always girls think that they're bigger than they are in high school. Every single girl thinks she needs to lose weight in high school. Everybody. I did the same thing. I thought I was chunky. I thought I had thunder thighs.
Yep.
Looking back, oh my gosh.
I know.
I probably should have put weight on.
I know what we would give for that body. And we didn't wear two-piece bathing suits, and we didn't wear the tight T-shirts. Yeah, it's such a funny inner kind of thing. And I know that the girls still do it today. I
Yeah,
know you're
they
working
do.
with high school girls, and I'm sure the self-image is just not what it's supposed to be. But you felt heavy. Did you try to diet at all through high school and all
Yeah,
that?
ridiculous diets.
What'd you do?
I did like a water-only diet. I even
Well,
tried
how long did that last,
That's
water only?
nutritious.
Not even half a day.
Really?
Yeah.
So you wake up in the morning and say, I'm only having water.
yeah.
That compares to my I'm never eating again diet, one of
Yeah.
my least favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried
Cup
that
Did that
of
one.
soup. I did the cup of
Cup
soup.
liquid only.
And
Liquid
sun
only?
tea.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
No carbs.
No carb. No,
You
I
said-
did the all carbs. I said I'm only going to eat bread.
I like
Talk
that
about
one.
Not being educated, but
How-
it was delicious.
How long did that? I could do only bread for 2 or 3 days.
I think it lasted a week.
Really?
Your mom's homemade bread? I would do
no,
that.
actually, no.
No.
Just
Had it been.
only bread. Did you ever get on a scale, by the way?
I really didn't. Like, we actually had one, but it's really funny. I was that kid that would like tilt and kind of make it seem like it was lighter than it really
Oh, right.
was.
We do that now.
Yeah.
We still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have one at home now. I threw
Hang
it out.
on the tail. The
yeah, just
towel
hang
roll.
on and
Right. You had
manipulate it.
to get, right.
So it really didn't serve its true purpose.
Yeah. So you had a number in your mind. Did you actually see it go up and down?
No, actually, I really didn't.
Yeah.
So I just really didn't pay attention to it. I kind of monitored how my clothes felt.
Uh-huh.
And the worst part was actually playing volleyball and comparing it to other people. And you wear those tight shorts. and
Oh, yeah.
I always had thicker legs and I was just strong,
Yeah.
But looking at the little rail thin girls, I was like, oh, I want to look like that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're just tuned in, ridiculous diets don't work. Just thought we'd bring you up to speed on that one. The only water, the only bread, the never eating again, whatever. None of that works. So, but you were a jock. You were a jock all through high school. Go ahead, tell them your sport at 5'11". What was your sport?
Volleyball.
Yeah.
I started off with basketball, and then I was told I had to make a choice, and that was a no-brainer. I chose volleyball.
You love volleyball. So what's
do.
the skill involved in volleyball? I watch it. There's Olympic volleyball. I watch it, and they're running, they're jumping, they're what
It's
body
a lot
parts
of
are you?
Agility. Every body
Agility.
part is used.
Yeah, it's a full body sport. It's
It
like
really
swimming,
is.
isn't it?
Truly is.
It's full
there's
body.
muscles you didn't even realize you had once you start playing volleyball.
Really, it's so interesting. And so you were in shape,
Yeah.
right? Physically in shape,
Yeah.
athletically in shape, but still felt as though you were overweight.
Right.
What was your food like? You're burning a lot of calories there.
Oh, I ate a lot of junk when I was actually in school, but I was very fortunate. My mom would start making my lunches and kept it pretty healthy,
So she had a healthy home, you think, besides the baking?
Besides the baking, yeah, she did.
Okay.
Balanced, right?
It was balanced.
So you saw fruits and vegetables
Yes.
in your house and
no.
protein.
Yeah,
You
we
know
love
what those
vegetables.
are.
We do.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we're going to get to in a minute because some of these high school girls do not. I mean, it's pretty shocking. And let's cut to college, right? There you are in college. I should ask you a question we talked about earlier, which is your social life. Because I think that most of us who either suffered from weight issues or felt as though we had weight issues, it really cut into our social life. That was true for you?
It did.
Yeah.
I like to say I didn't know what I was working with. I, had the body image issue, didn't start dating until I was 23, and it was, someone showed attention towards me and I was like, oh, I actually am cute, or someone likes me.
Right.
But I really didn't have that confidence that I do now.
It's so sad. Let's just take a moment. You've got all these high school girls. She's a coach at a high school, right? Back at the high school that you went to. You're a volleyball coach and, okay, a little drum roll. I don't know if you have a drum roll, Jake. Can we do it? Da, 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 da. I don't know how to do a drum roll.
I'm not good at that.
That was a good drum roll.
I can't
Something
roll my
in of all of the jobs I could think of doing in my life, including, construction worker, window washer, one that I will never do in this lifetime or any other one, she is a math teacher. So can we get applause for that? A math teacher is a very cool profession. I'm telling you, yeah, lots of applause on that one. I kudos to you. So you work with teenagers.
Yes, I do.
Girls and boys, probably,
Yes.
the math
Both.
and the girls and the volleyball team. So what would you say to the girls in terms of, about body image? How do you get people to embrace what they've got? Because one of the things I say all the time in my meetings is that it is almost impossible to lose weight or to better yourself when you start from self-loathing.
Yeah.
You got to embrace this. And what would you say to this 15-year-old who comes in crying, saying, I'm so fat, or Johnny doesn't want to go out with me because I'm fat, and they're 10 pounds overweight, or they're 100 pounds overweight?
Like, who cares about Johnny? First of all, you have to love yourself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, love yourself. And if there's a boy that you're interested in, they're not interested in you, then that's their loss. Move on. There's someone better. But first and foremost, you have to love yourself.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
And do your
homework.
Right.
And
practice
read
for the
that
team.
math book.
Right. And read that math book. How do you do that, though? What advice would you have given to yourself when you were 15, 16 years old?
Gosh, man, I wish I could go back and just talk
Right?
to myself and just remind myself that I was a good kid.
Yeah.
I worked hard and I had many blessings. So for me to just focus on that one little thing, I really missed out on a lot of my youth.
Isn't that interesting? We are our weight. It's just so ridiculous. I wish we could get past it and do this because the clothes look better, but you still deserve to wear pretty clothes. You still deserve to, wear makeup and perfume and whatever. It's a really big issue for the women, don't you think?
Feel good inside.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. Sometimes when you eat junk food, you feel bad inside.
Right. It's make better choices, certainly. So you got yourself through college playing volleyball, and again at a good way, and math, and again at a good way. We don't want you to think you're just a dumb jock. She's a smart jock. Okay, I mean a seriously smart jock. How high did you get in math? What are you talking to? Like trigonometry, that kind of stuff?
As far as classes I took, I
Yeah.
had multivariate calculus, math analysis, differential equations.
Oh, the fun! I don't even know what
Like
she's talking.
that?
You know what she's talking about, Jake? I don't even know what she's talking about. What is that? Right?
I love throwing that at people.
Oh, man, I'm impressed. All right. So, and at some point you knew, you didn't know. You said you left college at a pretty good weight and feeling pretty good about yourself. You were a big jock. And then you went into the corporate world.
Went into corporate.
Yeah. How'd you get suckered into that one?
I don't know. Actually, honestly, it was a friend of mine. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this math degree now. And then he was saying he looked in a book and said that there's actuaries. And I was like, well, what's that?
Yeah.
And I still can't really tell you what it
It
is.
is
but
the
I
most
went ahead and
boring
did
job
it.
in the world. It's statistical probability of how long you're going to live and do whatever, right?
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Life insurance companies use it, and who else? I don't know. They stockbrokery kind of stuff when they're figuring out pensions. It's like
Pensions, a lot
the
of
most
pensions.
boring thing in the world.
Sounds like no activity at all.
Oh,
Right?
none.
It's all betting on how long you're going to live. And what's interesting about Weight Watchers is that we can improve people's statistics big time, so we're kind of in the actuarial business. You didn't know that.
Oh,
Right?
pressure's
Good way
on
of looking.
now.
Just about the
Interesting
big
way to
money.
look at it. So there you are, really. There you are in the corporate world, sitting on your little fanny there.
A lot, yeah. A lot of sitting, a lot of number crunching.
Yeah. How's your weight?
It was going up
It was going up. Yeah, that's what happens.
I can only imagine sitting at a
Yeah.
desk all day.
all day.
And a bad knee.
yes.
So there goes a lot of the athleticism.
Yep.
Yeah. And what happens from there with your weight?
Like I said, it was fluctuating, and it was one of those where I didn't really jump on a scale.
Mm-hmm.
I would just notice how different my clothes were fitting.
One day the skirts fits and the next day it doesn't. Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And mainly the jeans. It was like, oh my gosh, my jeans aren't fitting. Let me get on that elastic skirt, elastic waist skirt.
Oh, yeah, those elastic skirts. The sizes, the S, M, L, XL, that XL just keeps expanding, and the L's are getting pretty big too out there in the stores.
Yeah, they are.
So were you active at all during that time?
I would have moments where I'd feel active. I'd be like, oh, I feel sluggish today. I need to go work out.
Oh, good.
But it was very sporadic.
Very sporadic. And then you eventually moved over to the high school.
Yeah.
Right.
And once I got back into high school work is when I became more active because it's hard to coach and not be an active person. You don't want the girls to look at you and be like, well, you get out there and do it. So sometimes I would. So
You're
just to prove
coaching
the point.
volleyball.
Yes.
Okay, but your weight was still, you had some issues
Still up
because
and down.
you got yourself to Weight Watchers, right?
I did.
How did that happen?
Well, went on a cruise.
Uh-oh.
looked at some pictures and saw back fat.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
How was
I
it
don't
eating
do
on
that.
the cruise?
Oh gosh, it's you couldn't. Whenever you wanted to eat, it was there. Even if you didn't want to eat, it's there.
24/7?
Your face, yes.
Really?
And the free room service.
Haven't you been on a cruise before?
No, we were
No,
going to go not last summer. We were going to do the Alaskan cruise.
I did a cruise
I
just
can't do
before
it.
I started Weight Watchers.
Really?
And I got the pictures back, and I thought I was going to be really cute in a bathing suit and a skirt. And it was not cute.
Well, we should be
Yeah.
thanking, Weight Watchers should be thanking those
Thanking
cruise
cruise
lines.
lines.
They should hand people a flyer as they get off the
we
cruise.
get a Weight
Yes.
Watcher cruise?
Feeling a little sluggish?
We're ready. Stephanie and I are ready. Weight Watcher
Let's
Corporate,
do
we're
it.
ready to run
Let's
one.
do this.
Right? I like it because it's certainly possible to vacation and stay on program.
Yeah,
It's really not
is.
that. They used to have Weight Watchers cruises. Did you know that?
I did
I
not
think
know
like
that.
25 years ago, they had a whole line of
Oh, I'd
vacation
be
travel
there.
with. It's ready. I mean, there's no reason not to have gourmet food and be able to count the points. There's just no reason. So you got off the cruise and said, I got to do
I
something,
got to
right?
do something. And I just started on my own, working out, but still not being educated enough to know what I should eat and how much of it I should eat, just what direction I should head it when it came to food. And then a coworker of mine, my former volleyball coach, actually pulled me towards Stephanie. She's like, you have to go to Weight Watchers. You need to meet Stephanie.
Did you bring up
She's
to her that you needed to
amazing."
lose weight? I'm just curious about this
No, I did.
conversation.
I did.
She said
I
she didn't walk
said-
up to you and go, girlfriend, you're
No.
fat. You need to go to Weight Watchers. Do not try that at home. Okay.
Sweetie,
Right?
you gotta.
Yeah, not so much.
No, I was just telling her, I was like, I'm determined to lose weight. And she was like, well, you have to do Weight Watchers. And initially I had no idea what it was. I just thought it was like the other ones where you have to buy food and and I was like, I can't afford that.
And this is like 2 years ago, and you're like 29, 30 years old,
29.
and you have this disappoints me. We need to do a better job of, in our commercials. I mean, we do say,
Oh, now it's a lot better.
eat anything. It is a lot better.
Yeah.
But we
Getting
really
the
need to
word
get
out.
that word out a lot better to people. And if, those of you who are watching, I think that it's our duty to educate everybody else,
You do not have to have prepackaged food. It's
Oh, gosh,
there
no.
in case of an emergency. It's not your only source of nutrition.
Yeah.
Not by a long shot. So you walked into a Weight Watcher meeting. By the time you came, I just want to break this down for anybody who's listening, hasn't been in a long time or has never been. By the time you came, what did you basically know about the program before you walked into your first meeting?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I
Oh,
knew
you're an
nothing.
interesting guinea pig.
I really did.
Walk in the
I knew
door.
nothing.
You see this adorable blonde little motorcycle babe. She's Harley Davidson motorcycle babe sitting there. And I don't know which location it is. What's it called? Somewhere in the inland
At the
was in-
empire.
time, it was Rancho.
Rancho.
Cucamonga.
Rancho Cucamonga. So what was your first impression?
I honestly said I loved it. This is where I belong.
Really?
And it helped being surrounded by people who understood what I was going through. Like I knew at that point that I was not alone.
So you didn't walk in all, apprehensive and,
No.
and worried.
I was ready.
You said you're ready.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Gotta
and
be
how,
ready.
And you walked into a Friday night meeting?
Yeah, it was.
Friday, 5:30?
It was.
And how were I assume, I hear the room is packed, and how were people? Were people nice to you?
Welcoming. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? That's what happens when you walk into a Weight Watcher meeting. You don't just sit there with your hands at your side feeling uncomfortable.
People smile at you.
Yes.
They are not. No one is frowning. Nobody is looking
no
at you.
judgment.
Nobody can see your weight.
So was this a surprise to you?
Yeah.
Kind of how friendly and easy and
Yes.
frankly inexpensive it is as well, right? Monthly pass is, how much is it? $42.95. $42.95 a month for a
Less
monthly
than
pass.
$10 a week.
You get
Right.
everything. $9.91 or something. $9.92. I'm good with my math. You see, how much am I? $9.92 a week. It comes down to, and you get everything. You don't need to spend another penny.
And an app for your smartphone.
And an app for
Yes.
2 apps for your smartphone.
The barcode.
I sat there. I went to my first meeting like 13 years ago, and it was $9.95 a week. I paid with my little credit card and free registration. And I sat there in the chair by myself, and I thought, when are they going to tell me about the $1,000? I felt like it's got to be a scam. I mean, you can't do this for $10 a week. There's got to be, they're going to hit me for the big money. And week after week, and finally after about 5 or 6 weeks, I went, so I don't have to spend any more money if I don't want to. Well, now I'm going to buy a cookbook, and now I'm going to buy some but it's not a scammy program. We are on the up and up, people. Come on in and check us out. So your first experience was positive.
Yeah.
And how did what goes on in a Weight Watcher meeting for you? What's going on?
Yes, hun. Do tell.
What's going on?
I mean, we start off with the awards, and Stephanie talks about who lost what or what achievement they've made that week, and we all celebrate it, and we genuinely are celebrating. Like, we're happy for each other.
Are you ever jealous for anybody who loses weight? Oh, they lost 20 pounds over there and I didn't.
Oh, sometimes when I first started, I was kicking butt. Like, I was competitive. I was like, I want to be the one that's getting all the
she's a
awards.
competitive
Volleyball girl
Yes.
in you.
And then there was that one week where I was like up, and I'm like, how am I up and she's down? What did I do? But no, that goes away. You really are just happy.
So what happens when you have an unsuccessful week by your standards? You feel like, I didn't lose weight. I really blew it 3 days. I didn't get my exercise in. How do you get yourself to go to a meeting?
That's actually where I faltered. For a while, I was like, oh, I know I'm not doing well. I don't want to be held accountable. I don't want to go in there. It's like the walk of shame. But I put that on myself because it's not the walk of shame. They welcome you. They're like, this is how we're going to help you. So
Right.
I had to get past that.
And no one in the meeting knows whether you lost or
Right.
gained
Yeah.
that week. No one knows. So you can just get off that scale, turn around, grab your stuff, go sit down with a smile on your face, and no one knows any different because we're doing this for the long haul.
Right.
It's not for that week only.
Okay, you have to say it. What's the business about the diet?
Okay.
I've never heard this before. So Weight Watcher leaders who are listening, pay attention. This is good.
Write this down.
Yes.
Write this down.
Now, this
Right.
is from Stephanie, and I remember this to this day, and I will always remember this. Weight Watchers is not a diet. It's an edit. You just rearrange the words in diet, and you get edit. Just meaning that you don't have to cut things out. You just monitor, keep track, maybe adjust your portions, but you eat what you want.
Yeah.
You really do.
What makes sense. We have another person, Susan Corey, comes on the show. She's also a leader and very interesting woman, and she comes on the show with me once in a while now. And she has a favorite line. She's my mentor. She has a favorite line, which is, you can eat anything you want on Weight Watchers, just not more. That's her line. So, it's really, I don't know that people understand how much we want you to continue living when you're on Weight Watchers. You don't have to interrupt anything about your life. You eat less, you make different choices sometimes you eat more. I mean, I've never eaten so much fruits and vegetables as I do now. So it's very interesting. So your experience has been, I'm going to ask a question that I know the answer is no. So I'll ask it a different way. So has your experience been a straight line down? I walked in the door, I was successful, thank you very much, goodbye.
Oh,
Has that been your experience?
That's what I tried to make it.
Okay.
Like I was very successful when I first joined, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this on my own.
Oh, the
doing this on your
old
own.
thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what'd you lose? You said
Initially, when I first joined within a year, I lost 30 pounds.
you lost 30 pounds and then you said sayonara. Did you get to lifetime?
No.
Stephanie, how'd you let her walk? We tripped these people on the way out the door.
She's back. They always come
She didn't know I was
back.
going.
But did you know when you left at some point, did you say, and I'm not coming back anymore? Did
No,
you?
that was never it. I just allowed myself to get busy, or
Right?
make excuses like, "Oh, I'll just make the next meeting."
Isn't
I'll,
that
like, take a
interesting?
nap. Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't like, I mean, once in a while, I think in 13 years, one or two people I've said to myself as they walk out the door, they are not coming back. They haven't lost weight in 3 or 4 weeks. I can't get them to talk about it. They're not ready. And then I got to tell you, I've been doing this a long time. They always come back. They always come back. And they always say the same thing. If only I hadn't left. I had to go out there and gain X number of pounds. If I hadn't left, at least, I'd lost 15 or 20. If I just would have stayed, I tell people all the time, and I'm sure Stephanie does as well, I actually shake hands with my members sometimes and say to them, let's make a deal. You've lost 15, 20, 60 pounds, whatever it is. Let's make a deal that you're in maintenance now. You have to pay. You're not officially in maintenance. Let's call this maintenance. I know you have another 20 pounds to lose. For the next little bit, let's just stay right here. Your job is maintain the 30-pound weight loss. I know you want to lose 5 pounds more. Let's just do that. Don't go anywhere, because I can guarantee you that if you leave, it's not going to be 30 pounds when I see you next.
Yeah.
And we tell that to people all the time. And I've gotten more and more and more. Sometimes I don't even do celebrations. I look around and I go, no one in this room lost weight. I know that. And sometimes at the end of a meeting with 40 people in it, the weight loss is 15 pounds, which is very, very low for the total combined of my members. And I just know this group is just holding on by their fingernails, and that's okay. No, I'll take that. Just hold on, because the opposite, walking out the door can be pretty ugly. So how did you get yourself, what was going on with you while you were out there, and how did you get yourself back in?
Yes,
Well,
tell
Yeah,
us.
Stephanie wants to
Yes,
know.
do tell.
You sent postcards and all that, right?
Yes, not only postcards. We're friends on Facebook, and I got a message. It was just like, miss you. And I was like, oh.
Nice,
Not
short
heavy
and
guilt.
sweet.
No,
Just,
it's
I
just-
do miss everybody's face. I want them with me.
And I
Because I
genuinely,
say, if I'm going to be there, I would like you at least to be there.
Right.
I'm going to be there every week. So just come hang out with me.
and even that little message had nothing to do with guilt. I didn't feel guilty. I was like, oh my gosh, I do miss it. I was like, why am I not there? And I
Did
went
that
back.
help?
Yes.
It helped to get you back?
It did.
How long were you gone?
Oh, it was about 2 months.
Okay.
I would say about 2 months. But it was so off and on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would be dedicated for like 4 weeks and then I'd disappear. You know, I let work get in the way because, you know, I coach and I travel with my coaching. But, you know, she would remind me, there's meetings not just on Friday.
Right.
She got
Really?
me again.
Well, I think it's funny. We put dedication in so many other things. So it's so funny. You had been on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You were dedicated to Facebook. I love that I had some members that were connected on Facebook, and one girl disappeared. She wasn't answering her cell phone. And so one of the other girls posted on her farm, "Call me. I miss you." And so she
Wow.
called her. She's like, "Okay, I'll meet you on Friday night."
Wow.
I'm there.
Boy, Stephanie really runs after her members. I'm very impressed, you know. So one of Lori Flagg, who I love and I work with on Sundays, she's out in the La Cañada area. She said that, and she's lost 105 pounds. She said that when she was losing weight, she sort of disappeared for a little while, and her leader sent her in an envelope. She received, you remember, well, now it would be MapQuest, but Thomas Guide. Her leader had printed up a page out of the Thomas Guide and put a magic marker from Lori's house to the Weight Watcher Center. Nothing else. That's what came in the envelope. I thought that was stuff like, did you forget?
that.
That
you
is
know?
so
That is
clever.
nice.
How
I like
many
that
Thomas guides did she have to buy?
I can't imagine. Isn't that funny? But you could just print out MapQuest from the location at the center, from your house, and just stick it in an envelope to people anonymously. You don't even
3.2 miles.
right?
That's a great idea.
That to your, with the little, this is turn right, turn left,
need to
because
write
it's
that
like
down.
we
Yeah, I like
forget, we forget that we felt good when we were there, and we forgot that it was working. And even if it isn't working, there's hope.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate that hopeless place when you feel like you fell off the wagon. So you're back.
I'm back.
And
Capital.
you called it a pity party.
Oh, I did.
That was funny.
My little
when you
pity
were
party.
out there,
Yeah.
you had a pity party.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what's new in your life?
Married.
Married.
Recently
See the ring?
married.
Got the ring there, Jay? Got the ring. Married, right?
blind anymore.
How's life? How's married life?
I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, we like the guy.
Yeah,
He's cool.
He's a keeper.
He's a keeper. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad. Tell me about the high school. Tell me what's going on with these girls and what do they call them? The hot Cheetos
hot
and the diet,
Cheetos.
not even diet, the Dr. Pepper and
Yeah.
those drinks with those Gatorade-y
The
kind of.
Gatorade.
Oh
Well,
man,
it's
that's
ironic
breakfast.
because they put a measure in the schools where they couldn't really sell junk food, as they title it, junk food, but it's still there.
How does it get there?
How about 2.5 servings in a can?
Really?
Yeah, like the taller drinks, they're
Yeah.
2.5 servings in a can.
Really?
Yeah, but if they're not drinking the diet ones, they're drinking
Oh, the regular. Nobody's
full
drinking
sugar,
the diet.
full
Yeah.
junk.
I mean,
Yeah.
and even if you do, you occasionally get the diet ones, but it's, you'll ask them, well, what'd you have for lunch? And they were walking in with their hot Cheetos
Yeah.
and their Powerades, or, there's just those drinks, a lot of fruit, and they don't realize that there's so much sugar in these drinks.
How about your
drinks.
girls? How about their weight in your high school? Your typical math class?
They're going to be
It's-
watching this.
Yeah, it's all over.
It's all over the place,
Yeah,
right? So,
all
and I
over
was
the
telling you, I had the opportunity to go to Morningside High and speak to some gym classes and all that. It was revelatory because I have a teenager, but she's a really good eater and very, very careful. But I was shocked that the shrubs all around the school were full of these hot Cheetos bags, and every girl, I wasn't watching the boys, every girl was carrying around one of these blue, pink, orange drinks that, wasn't low calorie. And I asked them, a couple of them, I said, how many of you have fruit in your house? And they literally weren't quite sure whether a carrot was fruit or a vegetable. And I just thought, nobody's made a salad in that house, in how long? And I don't know how do we get these girls? How do we educate them?
Weight Watchers does offer classes. I mean, they can come into the class just like anybody else, 10 years old and older, with a doctor's note.
Right.
That's
What does the doctor's note need to say?
just that they want them to lose, what their weight should be.
Okay.
So
And
if they're 10, like my 10-year-olds.
You have a 10-year-old? Uh-huh.
I do in my meeting. So the 10-year-olds, the 12-year-olds, the 13-year-olds, all the doctor has to do is say, yes, Weight Watchers, and this is the amount I want you to weigh. And no problem, and we'll accept them in. Even some insurances will pay for the kids to come
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Check with your insurance. So have you been able to, have any of them approached you and said,
Yeah.
my weight's an issue?
I have. I've
Yeah.
had some kids, they know that I like to work out, I like to stay active. So they'll ask for my opinion, you know, with staying fit. Then they'll ask, like, what should I do about food? And I've had a couple students join Weight Watchers, you know, after just talking to me.
Wow,
Which is
cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's, I mean, if one of the most important roles you can take on, I think, at the school is really, you know, as a role model for good health, because these girls are just walking a very thin tightrope. And even if their weight is not out of control at this point, they're just so unhealthy eating that way. You know, remember the old commercial, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? I mean, I believe that. Get down 1 serving of fruit a day, 2 servings of fruits and vegetables. So we'll teach them, right? If they walk into Weight Watchers, and truthfully, can't buy a monthly pass anyway, these kids, but it comes out to, what do they have to pay a week? Like $13, right?
14 in our area.
$1 for, it's 14 for a meeting?
Yes.
Oh, we're cheaper in LA. $13 a meeting, plus we have a $1 registration fee at the moment.
That is correct.
Right? Oh, you're 14. That's interesting. Interesting. Your meetings are probably, yeah, whatever. That's interesting.
They're worth an extra dollar.
They're worth an extra dollar to go out there. Come on to our area because we're only 13, but we'll see what's going to happen.
I've got tricks for the
They have
kids.
15 in New York City, I think.
Oh, probably.
You know?
We give them all kinds of tricks.
What do you give them?
I tell them if they're carrying around a cell phone, just take a picture of the food that you're eating. Say, "Oh, I like that. Looks good." Click. They
What a
take
great
pictures
trick.
Of everything anyways,
What a great trick.
And then when you get home, then you can figure it out.
And they can eat frozen meals. They can buy Weight Watcher and Lean Cuisine and all that kind of stuff if they want to, if it'll make their life easier. Very inexpensive. So you can do, you know, what some of our competitors are doing if you want to, but we want you to eat healthy.
And we'll teach you how to make a sandwich.
And we will. Oh, yes, we will. We will teach you how to make a sandwich on nice low point bread. So if you really look at that clock, how did that happen? I know. How did that happen? We're out of time. We didn't get to half of what we wanted to talk about. I am so sorry. I have to get you back. What can I say? I want to thank you so much for driving all the way out here and being here today. Please keep up. Applause. Please keep up the good work with the girls. I'm so excited. It's a population that, you know, if they can get this under control now, that is probably my only regret when I look back over my life is that I didn't get my weight under control earlier and feel better. If I could have gone through high school feeling good about myself, it would have been I think it would have been a different journey, you know? So we'll see you guys next week. We got our music, so that means we've got to go. Stephanie, thank you so much. I appreciate your bringing your member. She's coming back with me in September. We'll see what goodies she's got then. Stay active, eat right, show a bit of Weight Watcher meeting, you guys. Let us help you. Be well. Bye-bye.